Magandang umaga sa lahat. So, kamusta kayo? I hope you guys are enjoying your long weekend. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to discuss our second lesson entitled Understanding Culture and Society. But before we dive into this, let's have a quick review first of our previous lesson. Okay? If you can still remember, in our previous meeting, I introduced to you the concepts of culture, society, and politics. Also, we've discussed the three social science disciplines that help us understand culture, society, and politics. Do you still remember those three social science disciplines that help us understand culture, society, and politics? Of course, we have anthropology, sociology, and political science. Okay. Now we're ready to move to our next lesson. In this topic, we're going to have further understanding of culture and society. Specifically, our objectives for this lesson are to define society and discuss its essential characteristics and elements. Second, describe the growth and development of different societies. Third, define culture and discuss its various aspects and components. Fourth, discuss enculturation and socialization and how they contribute to the development of society. Next, we'll discuss the essential features and main concerns and appreciate anthropology, sociology, and political science for its contribution in understanding culture, society, and politics. And lastly, we're going to illustrate how and why cultural relativism, multiculturalism, and cultural sensitivity mitigate ethnocentrism and xenocentrism. Well, in a nutshell, this chapter will help us to get a closer look of the essential elements of society and culture and how anthropology, sociology, and political science help us understand significant issues concerning culture and society. So let's start the ball rolling. For our first stop, we're going to discuss what society is. But before I forget, as I give to you this lecture, I'd like you to bring out your homework and check if you have answered your homework correctly. Okay? All right. So now what is society? Society, as we all know, refers to a group of individuals sharing a common culture, geographical location, and government. So we have here an example of a society. Uh, it's called Ivatan Society. And here we can see that they share a common culture. All of them wear a bakul, or it's a headdress that protects them from sunlight and rain. Also, they share the same geographical location. They are found in Benguet. And lastly, they have their own government. Now, why are societies formed? Okay, bakit nga ba nabubuo ang mga lipunan? Simply because human beings are naturally inclined to form societies, since it is interacting with others that they're able to ensure their survival. So dahil tayo ay mga social beings and are inclined to form societies, dahil kailangan natin yung lipunan. Because sa pamamagitan ng lipunan, nakaka-survive tayo. Nakakapag-share tayo ng resources, na ma-maximize natin yung ating potential, and nakaka-acquire tayo ng mga survival skills na we cannot do by our own. Okay? So, kailangan natin ng iba para tayo ay mag-survive. Kaya naman, ang mga tao ay naturally inclined to form societies. Alright, so ano nga ba yung mga importanteng elemento na dapat present sa isang lipunan? The book has mentioned 6 characteristics of societies. Number one, social solidarity, wherein the members of the society should live together for mutual benefit. Second, a society has their shared identity and culture, wherein this shared identity and culture serves as their pattern of behavior and action. Also, in a society, they share common language, they have large population and ability to sustain succeeding generations of the members. Also, they have definite geographical area and they have political, economic, and social organizations. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga political, economic, and social organizations that help a society thrive? Of course, we have government, we have schools, hospitals, okay? Now, there are five major types of societies, namely hunting and gathering communities, second, horticultural and pastoral societies, third, agricultural societies, fourth, industrial societies, and of course, we have the post-industrial societies. Let's discuss them one by one. First, we have hunting and gathering society. So, as the title suggests, hunting and gathering society is characterized by hunting and fishing animals and foraging for wild vegetation. So, as you can see on the picture, people just hunt animals and gather plants. Okay, so this means to say that people do not know yet how to grow their own food during this time. Also, it's important to note that in this period, people were nomadic, okay? Meaning they kept on transferring from one place to another to search for food. So, palipat-lipat sila ng lugar para makahanap ng pagkain. So, can you imagine how hard life was back then? Next, the hunting and gathering society was replaced by horticultural and pastoral societies after a couple of years. Okay. Now, this type of society uh, is characterized by cultivation of plants and domestication of animals. Okay? Makikita natin sa larawan na yung mga tao natuto na silang magtanim at mag-alaga ng hayop. Maybe na-realize nila na mahirap maging nomadic, okay, magpalipat-lipat ng lugar at kailangan nilang gumawa ng paraan para mag-reproduce yung plants at yung animals for sustainability purposes. Okay? So, and because they learned na how to uh, cultivate plants and domesticate animals, okay, they started to have uh, permanent settlements, okay, and that led to the third type of society. Okay. The third type of society is called agricultural society, wherein new methods of farming were introduced, more advanced tools were used, and permanent settlements were established. So, dahil natuto na silang magtanim at ang kanilang mga pagkain ay nasa isang lugar lang, kaya naman nag-start na silang magkaroon ng mga permanent settlements. Alright, hindi na sila palipat-lipat ng tirahan. All right. And this society also led to a more advanced type of society, which is called industrial society, which is characterized by technological advancements. So makikita natin sa larawan na sa lipunang ito, maraming machines ang naimbento at nag-rise din yung mga factories that led to the improved production. All right. And lastly, the type of society we're currently in, the post-industrial societies we're in, knowledge is a commodity and technological innovation is the key to long and lasting growth and development. Okay? So sa era na meron tayo ngayon, tunay na ang knowledge is power. Knowledge is a commodity. There is money in knowledge. Okay? So kaya naman walang tigil ang mga taong kapaproduce ng knowledge through research, no, through AI, dahil tunay na nowadays knowledge is power. And of course, walang tigil din yung technological innovations during this time. Alright? Now, before we move to our next part, magkaroon muna tayo ng konting reflection time. I'd like you to write on your notebook what you've learned so far. And you write on your notebook what you've learned so far. Also, why do you think we should learn about these things? Na bakit natin siya pinag-aaralan? Sa tingin niyo lang, ano ang kahalagahan ng pag-aaral ah, ng lipunan at ng iba't ibang types of societies? So, I give you time to write on your notebook or to answer these questions on your